The families unite with a Boba Fett swagger and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
Well, in that 20-sided die, it's got to be one of Daryl's. Could you see how many 20s were on it?
Yeah.
I didn't notice until just now.
I know that was
Natural 20.
that was one of the
every other one is a
earlier,
20, man.
that was one of the earlier video generation models, and the simple fact that it looked like a dice, I was happy.
Yeah.
No, it looked good. It still looks good. I just grieving because I hadn't really noticed until just now that
To tell you the truth,
that
I haven't
27
even gone on
was-
I should really take a look and count the number of fingers on that mech warrior dude at the end there. I'm pretty sure he's probably got like 6 on one hand, 3 on the other. You know, it's going to be hosed.
And his hand is morphing into a gun that's holding a hand that's got a gun.
You know what the worst part is? That's probably in an anime somewhere from the 80s. So
Yeah,
it's canon.
shit.
All right.
Yeah, I
The
think I did
canon
see
is
that in
canon.
Akira somewhere.
What and all that it looked good, and it still looks good to be fair. But when you compare it to just the shit I've seen in the last week now, because even today we were sitting there going, we're watching videos of kids doing various things. It was a parenting video actually, and so it wasn't even like pop culture or geek reference shit, just a video on how to parent. And as they're showing it, every once in a while, like the kids, their face will just get like distorted, almost demonic or some shit. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, that's AI. But it was so good, we
hmm
we barely could tell the AI bits. But every once in a while, when you go, like, I'm starting to wonder if this whole thing is AI.
Well, you know, and as I've said, that's one of the benefits now is even the people who used to believe everything they saw on the internet are now not believing anything that they see on the internet. So that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Are you talking about me, motherfuckers?
Well, if the
He's
shoe
lagging
I
fits,
feel like he's lagging up a little bit
Yeah.
because every once in a while he's just staring me dead in the eyes.
Yeah, and it's like,
well, your
Oh,
video
oh, oh,
quality
oh.
is like really low
All right.
and stuttery.
He looks like a Bond villain when he's.
I need a cat. I need a
Hmm.
bald cat, Mr.
I don't know what the deal
Bigglesworth.
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do. You were doing the finger temple thing real well.
No, Mr. Cookie, I expect you to die.
News to talk
Yeah.
There's news to talk about, but man, it crept up on us quick. All of a sudden, it's like, oh shit, it's Wednesday. Because I knew for sure I wanted to talk about that Warner Brothers Netflix merger. Some of
If
that
it
stuff
goes
in the
through.
news in general, and
If it goes
and I even
through,
have a geekasm this week.
Yeah,
So
I kind of do.
can you hear me?
if it goes through,
Okay, yeah. If it goes through,
has
because
it not? Is it not? Yeah, you're freezing up a bit.
you're freezing up.
He's caught mid-stroke
mean,
there on that one.
I did
you're
a
freezing up.
speed test right before, and I was clocking really good.
Well,
Receiving him.
Yeah, I've got good signal. I'm
So hang on. So this Netflix Warner Brothers merger. Well, let's do our geekasms and we'll get on to all that shit. How's that?
oh
That way
okay.
we know where
Well,
we're sitting.
let me get one of my geekasms just printed. So, as you know, I have been working on the ship from the dark hole, the black hole, the dark hole. No, that's a different movie. I thought from the black hole, and
Yeah,
I've
it
been
doesn't
having-
last as long, but it's got a lot more views.
but it does destroy everything. No, I was having problems getting in order to print the really fine pipe work and all the stuff that's in this. I was having to use supports, of course, and the supports were just too much, and they were crapping it out. And I tried everything that I could think of. So I reached out to the company that I get them from that I always tell you about, Gambody. And I wrote them and I was like, hey, dudes, can you like give me the files in separate pieces so I can, just like print and then glue them together? And they worked with me and did, the whole thing with their whatever team. And they went through my slicer settings and figured out what I could torque in order to get the supports to print so I could remove them properly. And now I'm chucking away on this. It's looking really good. There's a lot of these parts.
Well, it's impressive. When I was at your house and saw when I was printing up, I did not make the connection of the black hole ship, and I just thought those were all supports on the side. I was like, that's a lot of fucking supports on that thing.
No,
that's all skip pieces.
Yep. That's the this is, this, once it's all put together, is going to be 48 inches long.
Oh geez.
It's going to be, it's going to be just at like 4 foot long is going to be the model.
Let me guess, that one's going to the burrow too.
Well, Jess and I were talking about that, either the burrow or perhaps we could talk to BAM and see if Wizard's Alley would want it. All right. Disseminate the goodness out there.
You got room on your ceiling and that room right there. You could be hanging cool shit.
Well, yeah, but this one's going to be lit. All right.
You ought to advertise that you can do models for people on not on consignment, on contract or whatever.
Yeah, we're on consignment.
Yeah.
Well, theoretically, yeah, I could do that, but right now I'm just having fun. But yeah, that's my geekism, is the fact that Gambody, once again, their great customer service came through and were able to help me out, after I purchased the item. And so once again, I tell people, if you want really, really good models, you got to pay extra for them because they're not cheap. But their customer service is the best I've seen out there.
I was going to say that's pretty good because there's a couple of 3D file places where, like, I bought a print and there'd be like 17 files, but like 2 of them are missing, or they accidentally gave me 2 right arms on a character. And then sometimes I don't even get that fixed. They just give you a refund on your file or something. But that doesn't do you much good because you've already got a file 3/4 of the way printed before you realize it's got 2 right arms or something.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And this one has, oh my God, how many files are in this? Let me see my computer. I have to go to. There are about 100 different files to print on this ship.
Oh wow! I don't remember it being that big, but I guess.
Well, let me see here. I should have it. Let me see if I can do a.
I mean, all those exterior pieces are printing with it.
Let me see, downloads. This one, and I'll share this so you can see what it's supposed to look like when it's all done. Because, let's admit it, it's been a long time ago and we've all forgotten what it looks like.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I always remember all the scaffolding looking stuff on the outside. And I guess it's more detailed than I remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, it's a lot more detailed than I remember. And plus it's got a stand on it and everything. So
and a lot of these, even though it's like 100 different files, a lot of the files like have to be printed like 6 different times because these things here, these 3 Pokey Up bits, they have to be, and they are mirrored on the bottom as well. So each of those has to be printed 6 times. So it's actually closer to 120 files total.
What are you going to do for the glass domes on there?
Oh, I'm going to print clear resin.
I was wondering about that. I've heard of people doing it. I don't have a resin printer, so I haven't dealt with anything like that.
Yeah, I don't remember it being in that big. That's what she said. Thanks, Dustin. One thing that, because a lot of these models that I'm doing call for clear parts, and the resin doesn't truly print clear. And if I use the clear filament and try to print clear filament, that's just a joke. I mean, literally, the clear filament looks like this
See, I've
when
got a
it's
couple of
printed.
kits that call for clear filament, but they're mainly the idea of them are
Yeah.
like they're fire and stuff. So you put a light in it. So even though it doesn't look, it's once you turn the light on, it gives it that effect. But so far, I haven't done any of that. I have just painted everything to look like flame and stuff.
Yeah. Now this is, you know, I'm going to run the COB, which is circuit on board LEDs, which you can't even tell the different LEDs when it's lit up. They're so close together. And have that lighting up the inside. So I can, you know, the whole ship will be glowing from the inside. You know, and
See, that'll,
off of
that'll look
AliExpress,
cool.
you get this stuff, you know, like $7 for a 5 meter, 15-foot roll of it.
Yeah, I got a huge 4 foot by 4 foot Ghostbuster diorama that's all lit up that I'm gonna have to do that with. I just haven't put it together yet because I got no place to put it. It's a big fucking, and that was one of those. It was like over 100 pieces to print, but getting to
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, and that's my problem as well. Is I'm, you know, I've got all these models that I'm wanting to build, but I don't have any place to put them. So, you know, it might end up just being one of those things where I choose the ones that I really like and keep those, and the rest of them, you know, sell them or get rid of them or something.
That's kind of why I'm at. I'm like I said last week. I've been going through everything in the art studio and stuff. I'm moving like some of my leather stuff here down to the leather room downstairs, moving all sorts of shit around, and I keep just running by stuff. It's like I just need to sell that. I forgot I even owned that. I got, you know, I found entire box sets of miniatures and stuff. Just forgot I owned them. You
Well,
know,
you know that one Starship Enterprise that I put out on the con tables, the one that's about 18 inches long. It's from Strange New Worlds. It's the newer
yeah,
one.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that one with all of the decals and the Aztecing and all the stuff like that I put on it and the lighting. I've checked. People sell those all put together, painted and done up for about $300 a pop on eBay. Done.
Yeah.
And if you go for like the big things, like the big 1/350 full meter long ones, of like the refit and stuff like that, those are going for thousands of dollars fully done up. Did you guys freeze again? I think you froze again. Did I freeze?
Where
Did you
it's
freeze?
that lighting stuff.
There you are.
Must have been us.
Right.
But lighting stuff up, painting it, make it more unique other than just a print. Just, you know, I'm so tired of seeing people just print stuff and then sell it right away. But yeah, that's something else I've been working on with the 3D printer. Hang on a second. I need to find a good solid Star Wars landspeeder model so I can print a full-sized version.
A full
Holy
size?
shit.
I think
I've been doing that, but
that one guy over in England, Colin Furzy or something like that, who he got really big. Yeah, doing all kinds of weird projects and building full-size ATSTs and stuff like that. He built a working land speeder, kind of like, you know, on wheels, you know, not working, but, you know, on wheels. And that was pretty good.
they had one of those with the Star Wars exhibit when it came through Wichita. They had like all the original costumes and stuff. Had a
I went to
replica of so yeah, they had a land speeder there you could get in. Did you get in that?
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't get in it. Gannon was a little, I mean, I've got a picture of me holding him up to see the Chewbacca costume. He was a little tight at the time, so, you know, there was things he didn't want to do.
I don't think I got in the Millennium Falcon there, but I don't think I got in land speeder. But then at Planet, we had a land speeder there for a little while as well. And I got pictures in that one. Because we had a land speeder and a full Hoth set there for 1 or 2 years. I don't know if it's been back. Dustin would know, but okay, they're trading recipes. So our Geekgasm.
I went on to Gambody and they had land speeder there, good quality. So I just sent him the link to it.
Sounds good. Well, my Geekgasm this week was partially. I was going to say playing God of War because I just now got into God of War, thanks to Gabe, and I'm sucked in.
You've never played that before?
I'd never played it before. So
Oh my god! Did you start with the classic God of War 1?
nope. Started with the fourth game, just the God of War, where he's fighting.
Like
He's with his son, Atreyu.
who doesn't he fight?
Yeah. Well, um, but no,
No,
I've really enjoyed it so far. But the actual geekgasm would be, I was up here in the studio working, cleaning stuff, and Gabe stops by. He sees me moving stuff, and he finds a bunch of my old Magic cards because I've given him. I'd say I've given him 80% of my Magic cards, but
yeah.
I've got a small box that I had hung on to, a little bigger than a shoe box. And he's like, Dad, I got an app. I'll go through these and price them all for you and all that. And I said, yeah, I bought some card sleeves. If you want to do all that, awesome. So him and Diego went through it all, priced them all, separated them out for me. In that one shoe box, we were just under $5,000 worth of cards. So
Oh.
I was pretty happy with that because I thought she had gone through and done some appraising on some of the ones in the shoebox a couple of years back, and he had thought maybe around $2,000 without using the app and all that. So Gabe used the app, did the condition, all that stuff. So Christy's bound determined I'm going to sell my Magic cards, and we're going to put it toward a vacation in Germany. So that's my geekgasm, the geeky shit, I guess.
Your geekgasm is your woman has decided how to spend your money.
Yeah. No, I like the idea because that's like I was telling Tim. There's so much shit in here. I got to start selling some of it. Otherwise, kids aren't going to know what to sell someday.
Yeah, some of that stuff. I mean, if you don't get some value out of it and do something with it, it may be worthless in 20 years when people are playing all.
I know there was just a very small window when Beanie Babies were a good investment. So if you didn't get onto that Beanie Baby bubble.
Luckily, so a lot of this stuff I've got, I think will hold value. You know, like all the original Turtle shit. You know, there's a lot of stuff that just holds value. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff that I should have sold years ago when the market was good. But
there's some stuff you got that's worth exactly the same today as it was 20 years ago.
That's true too, and I'm hung on to it forever.
Stored it for 20 years for nothing.
Well, not for nothing, because see, I was planning on hanging on to all this shit till I die.
Yeah,
was my deal. So it was.
And there's a lot of stuff that I've got that it's just I didn't buy it for its future worth. It's because that's what I wanted.
Right. There's a lot of the stuff I bought because there's stuff you can look over there, especially that shelf area. A lot of that, like the R2D2 stuff, is worth nothing, but it's stuff Mom and Dad bought me, so it means something. Yeah.
I don't know what Christy's cooking, but it smells good.
I was going to say my.
So Carol said Russell is getting into leatherworking now. If Russell needs any pointers, that was something I was doing today. We were dyeing leather. Let's see, got a little leather dye still on my fingers. We were dyeing leather down in the basement today. But yeah, I still have my whole studio and everything down there. Gabe's making wallets, teaching him to make knife sheaths and stuff like that. So
I'm telling you,
questions, feel free to go.
A good thing to make money doing leather on is those motorcycle shows, man. People pay stupid money for anything. I mean, literally something that has only got $5 worth of leather in it. They're charging $50 to $100 for, and people are snapping it up.
When I was working leather full time, granted, most of my stuff was cosplay and Ren Fair stuff, but the two biggest industries with the most money was motorcycle riders, and dog sled pullers. And I had made some stuff for both. My worry is, even though I was making like full suits of armor that people were fighting in, my deal is a lot of these like dog competitors, like every seam you did, you had to double stitch it, you had to put rivets in it. I mean, everything had to be solid, because if one of those straps breaks, you could ruin a whole dog's career. And that always bothered me. Some of the competitive rider people, that bothered me. So I'd make stuff like decorative looking things, but the structural things bothered me, because if you fuck it up, or at least for the prices I was charging, it wasn't worth continuing to do it. So Kelly says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Kelly?" Dennis says, "Howdy." Sorry, I've been missing chat a little bit, guys, over here. But Tim, did you have a geekgasm this week?
Man, I've been working on a piece of scenery, Daryl, for a game. So we're gonna play soon, but I'm working on a campaign in my head and some scenery for it right now. And I almost finished the inn last night, and it's looking pretty good. It's about that big. I'm doing it old style out of cardboard and shit, and I'm thinking, nah, all these guys with 3D printers, I need to be hitting them up, but I still want to do this one all myself. The whole inn and the stable and the.
Oh, well, I'm watching you cut cardstock and cut stuff. Made me want to do that shit again because we used to do that all the time.
It's kind of fun.
And then now it's just like I do look at it and I go, well, I could print that whole roof up and that whole, you know,
it's like the first 4 inches of shingles. You're like, man, damn, that looks good. I made that out of a piece of cardboard. And then you look and you say, oh fuck, I got another 1.5 feet of shingles to go. You know.
Dude, I saw this one. I don't know if it was a Kickstarter or what, but their whole thing was because you use like the foam boarding stuff to make things, right?
That works really good. This one I'm just using cardboard because I just wanted to start it before I got a chance to go get some foam board.
By the time you paint it, it's gonna look because it's got that distressed look.
But the thing is this company or whatever, these people, they have created these jigs that you put your foam board in, and then you run it through the hot wire. And so it will just sit there and cut row after row of all your shingles, of all of your pillars and all the stuff like that in full 3D.
Yeah. My problem is because Tim has even said, you got these printers, we should be making tons of scenery. I have got, even to this box on my left, there was scenery just sitting in this box, shit we made years ago. That's off that old Star Wars and stuff. But I got tons of shit sitting here. I don't ever use it. You know, I don't game enough to need the amount of scenery I still have sitting around, you know.
I've got a book nook that I printed like a year and a half ago, a full on, you know, smog in the on the gold in the room with the Hobbit coming down the stairs, and it's all set up so I can run lights to it and put flicker in there and the sconces. Yeah, I've got as far as putting primer on it. You know, I need to finish that shit.
I have so many kits, especially 3D printed ones I haven't gotten to yet. And it's, I get excited when I find cardboard boxes that'll fit the kit that's not put together so I can store the kit and get to it later, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I just took out all my trash this afternoon. You know, after I got done with work, I came in here and emptied out the trash bin and went through and tossed all of the filament boxes that I was saving for some stupid reason, all the empty filament boxes, and I'm just like, no, chuck it. I'll get more. It's not like I'm never going to buy filament again.
Yeah, if I found the endless plastic spools that your filament comes on, I've thrown away so many of those. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I prefer the cardboard ones over the plastic ones. A lot of people go, oh, I don't like the cardboard. I love the cardboard ones. One, because I don't feel as bad throwing them away. And two, usually the cardboard ones will have that scale on the side so you know how much filament you have left. I like that scale.
Yeah. Yeah. We can talk about 3D printing all day, which I really could now. It's making me want to. But
so, all right, let's talk about Warner Brothers.
Yes, because I've gotten some info on it, and I know we've talked about it on here before on anticipation on what might happen. Because my big concern was what was going to happen with the DC universe, with James Gunn and all that. And I'd actually saw they'd upped his contract for another year before I saw the merger was announced. So
okay, but here's the thing: are you getting the full deal? You're hearing the fact that Netflix is looking to do a merger and purchase out Warner Brothers, right? And the Discovery.
Or at least purchase out their studios for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be the studios. It would be all the HBO Max studios as well.
It would be all their intellectual property too.
That's all part of. That's still getting negotiated. So, like, we as the public don't know yet, from what I understand, if their back catalog of streaming stuff that is currently streaming will be acquired as well. So even
everything studio wise is what they're going for. Everything studio wise.
That for sure.
But here's the thing. All right. Originally, Paramount under Skydance. All right, Paramount had made the first initial offer.
Right.
All right, and they're pissed because Warner Brothers, they feel, did not take them seriously. And even though they offered more per share than what Netflix is offering, Netflix is also offering some stock exchange involved, which puts their total value a little bit higher, but that some of that value is based off of a stock exchange. All right. So Paramount right now is fighting Netflix doing this. All right. And they're trying to go around the board, the Warner Brothers board, and is offering higher value for the stock and looking to purchase stock straight from the stockholders and going to try a hostile takeover that way.
Fucking crazy.
So don't think that this deal is going to be done, because Paramount's going to put as many roadblocks as they possibly can into this to say, no, we have the better deal that we're offering. And according to law, which is because of fucking Dodge, which I'll get to later, all right, because of the law, the board has to do whatever will make the most money for the stockholders.
Right.
And
I can see that.
That's the law. And that's the law that was okay. So I'm going to get on my soapbox now. All right. It's because of Dodge. All right. The vehicle manufacturer, because way back in the day when Henry Ford was running Ford Motor Company, he had enough surplus. He was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pay my workers more. He was going to turn around and pay his workers more. Dodge didn't want them doing that, because then that would incentivize their workers to leave Dodge and go work for Ford. So they took it all the way to the Supreme Court and made it pass the rule, and made the Supreme Court, agree that the company has a commitment to the shareholders, that they have to maximize the profits for the shareholders, and it's that has cascaded over the last century. And the reason now that everything goes to maximizing the profits for the shareholders and not putting money back into the company and making a better product or a better company and doing stuff like that, it's all because of Dodge. And that's another reason I don't like Dodge.
Yeah, I actually knew about all that already.
You say all this like Henry Ford was the good guy. I mean,
he was in that case.
Well, you might be in that case, but you guys know all about the whole Germany Nazi thing with him, don't you?
Yeah.
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 He sued the United States government for bombing his factories in Germany that were making vehicles to kill our troops with.
But what he said, what his reference was to the stockholder buyouts.
I'm not.
To me, they're both bad guys.
This
I don't think it was about
pro Ford. This is Dodge bad. All right. Yeah.
Now, see, I was under the impression that this Netflix merger, I mean, because they've been announcing it like crazy. They did announce that they did James Gunn, and I can't remember who else's contract for another year.
It's still got to go through regulatory. Something this large has to go through regulatory. All right. It has to get approved by the government, because something this large can conceivably make a monopoly. So they have to approve it. And, and in the meantime, Paramount is doing all kinds of stuff in order to try to get that IP. And that's the other thing too, where Netflix was just wanting the studio stuff. Paramount, they wanted to take the part that makes money. All right, we want that. And then all the stuff that doesn't make the money, CNN, MSNBC, all these other things that don't make the money, they can go off on their own. All right. And Paramount is saying, no, we want it all.
Okay.
So, that could, not breaking up the company, that could be a thing in their court. So this is a big thing going on. This is going to be the next big merger going on.
Oh, I know it's a big merger. That's why, that's why you want to bring it up. Of course, my things are always the fucking intellectual properties of it. DC, Fallout, all the things I enjoy watching. The Monopoly part of it, I get all that needs to be avoided, but part of me could give a shit. You know, Disney already owns like a third of the fucking entertainment industry.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what's it gonna matter? You know, if there's another big dick around there to swing it in Disney's face, I'm kind of okay with that.
See, and my thing is that here recently, Skydance bought out Paramount. All right. So there's a big shakeup that went on with that. And of course, in order to get that through, they had to, you know, bribe Trump $10 million to get his
Yeah.
approval for that, you know, deal to go through. But we won't even talk about that. But the thing is that now there is a whole shakeup. They're going to completely redo my passion, Star Trek. All right. They've come through and they said, all right, this Starfleet Academy, it's basically, you know, they've guaranteed, I think, 2 seasons on it, and that's it. And the guy who was heading up everything from Discovery and Strange New Worlds and all the stuff like that, he's out. They're bringing in new people and new stuff, and they're doing they're not calling it a reboot. They are basically taking everything back, and they're going to start doing what I've always said, which is you own an IP that, you know, is, you know, just like Star Wars, it's intergalactic, you know, it's the whole galaxy, for Christ's sakes. You got a whole IP. Why are you going back to the same 5 motherfuckers? All right. Spread it out. And that's what they're going to be doing, is they're going to, you know, they're going to be going back to the Kirk time, but they're not going to be doing the Kirk. They're going to be doing other characters and other stories. So
that would be cool.
I was just gonna say, Star Trek is one of those that could use a little
a lot.
boot in the ass.
Yeah, it could. Ever since what is it, the early 2000s with Enterprise. All right. Ever since then, they have just basically just been chunking out that nostalgia thing. And I fully blame Star Wars for that, because Star Wars is the one that led the charge. They led the charge into prequels. All right. And
did they lead the charge, or did they just have the most famous of the prequels? Because it feels to me like there were plenty of prequel movies before New Hope came out, or not New Hope, but
truthfully, the guidelines for the prequels were written at the same time the other Star Wars movies were written, so he had a history for them, so they were almost already done. So
see,
it's not...
he says that, but I don't believe him. I do not believe him for 2 reasons.
I've seen him make shit up off the cuff.
All right. One, all right, if that was the case, there would not be all the inconsistencies that are in there. All right. All right. And 2, how many times has he told us, oh, no, we can't go back and have the originals because I destroyed those. There are no more original, you know, cuts anymore. But now it's out in the theater because it was there. He's a liar.
He is. He
right?
definitely is. And he's a bit full of himself. But all that shit that he says that he had all planned out, a lot of it is he has ideas and shit. And if it works out, oh, I had this brilliant plan from the beginning. If it doesn't work out, it was a rough draft. Now, did a lot of those prequel outlines exist before the prequels? I can say yes for sure, because I have seen it and read books on them before those prequels ever came out.
Right.
So I knew half the story.
Some of it was really wonky.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shit. Darth Maul wasn't any of the original shit. There's a whole love triangle between Obi-Wan and
at first, Luke and Leia weren't brother and sister.
I know. I read Splinter in the Mind's Eye. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Our Uncle Don had a bunch of those original drafts and stuff.
Heir of the Empire, Splinter in the Mind's Eye.
Well, yeah,
those were all.
That was even before Heir of the Empire ever came out. But Splinter in the Mind's Eye came out right after the first movie, so that came out.
I remember the cover of it. Or looked like they were shocked, like they were making out and just got caught, and this big dude standing behind them.
I was gonna say I have it just right over there.
Yep.
Yeah, but
No.
anyhow, yeah. So Lucas, he definitely had ideas, but that's the thing, is every idea he has, he changes shit in the middle of doing it all the time.
Well, like when the first of the prequels came out, he was fully planning on Jar Jar to become Darth Jar Jar.
He says that now. I don't know. He for sure says that Jar Jar had a lot more to play in it, that he ended up pulling back because of public outcry.
Right.
But the Darth Jar Jar, he's never said that that was his plan by any means.
The guy who plays Jar Jar Binks says that Lucas told him that.
Yeah,
I think that is all because we all read that same meme where whoever out there had that brilliant idea and laid it out and pointed out how everything. And I think it's one of those things where then the author looks back and goes, "Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do."
I think that's a lot of it right there.
That would have been a great idea. I wish he would have
No,
did it.
It would have been a M. Night Shyamalan level twist. I mean,
Yep.
that would have been a twist at the level of I Am Your Father. All right. That would have been great. And if that was the case, if he had actually planned that and had it all set up for that, then I don't see any kind I mean, he's too egotistical and narcissistic to allow, any kind of public outcry to have pulled him away from doing that.
I don't know, man.
He would have been sitting there going, "Oh, they think that now, but hold on. I'm going to be justified in this next one." No, he didn't have that idea. No.
First off, I don't think he had planned on Darth Jar Jar at all.
Yeah, that's my point.
And
Yeah.
the one thing they'll say that not only do not plan on Darth Jar Jar, but that will be a little contrary to what you said is he's thinking about toy money. Jar Jar is one of his big toys that he was planning on selling the shit out of. People hated him, so he had to change focus because he was worried about toy sales a lot more than he was worried about making a good story, man.
Yeah, those movies were.
I give you that one too. Yeah, yeah. Now,
Yeah, that's how I feel with Jedi.
Back to Star Trek. As long as they change it the way you're saying, okay, that sounds really cool. But if they go in and why go in and just totally retcon shit and totally change the way characters are? If you're going to do that and make a new universe, just make a new universe and call it Star Troopers or something else.
Not Star Troopers.
Well, not Star Troopers, but
my
call
thought
it
is,
something else.
it's one of the things that I've said constantly, even on our little Boldly Trekking podcast. It's one of the things that we started off with is if you actually look at the amount of space that the Federation is supposed to be in, all right, and how fast their ships supposedly traveled. It wasn't like Star Wars, where you can get across the galaxy in the afternoon, all right, just in time to, hit Alderaan when it's still rubble. No, they didn't travel that fast. In order to get across, it would have taken literal months and sometimes years, depending on the speed of the vessel, to get from one section to another. So there's no reason that Kirk and them couldn't have been doing all their stuff over in Sector 7, but over here in Sector 3, all right, this other stuff was happening with the Kazimti or somebody like that. We could have a whole other thing going on. All right.
A little bit the idea even behind Voyager, where it's like, oh, well, here's another section of the galaxy that we're not, Federation isn't inhabiting, and there's all sorts of shit going on even then that way you don't have to keep in with all the timeline shit of Next Gen happening now.
Right. And also, there they were pointing out, even with, the super fast that Intrepid class starship was supposed to be, even with them, it was still going to take 70 years to get back to Federation territory. And if of course you don't, but, for those of us who have watched it too many times, if you remember the very first episode of Next Gen, he's talking about how to get from Earth to Farpoint Station, where it kicks off. Even in the Galaxy class Enterprise D, that took a month of travel.
They address that stuff all the time in Star Trek. I don't know how many times it's like, oh, well, we're getting this diplomat here, and it's going to take a month to get this diplomat from point A to point B. And then that's, the point of the story or whatever is those people on the ship.
Yeah, I do respect that in Star Trek more than what Star Wars does, where you could just bamf to the other side of the galaxy, just like that. In Star Trek, that, yeah, okay, you're traveling great deals of distance and you're getting there faster than anybody else. But if something's going down, there is no help coming for you. You know, there's nothing going to be able to. Oh yeah, let's just zoom all our guys over there. Even though we're on the other side of the galaxy, they can't do that quite like that.
Okay. Here's an interesting bit of, basically Hollywood trivia. In Star Trek, they always seem to be, whatever planet they were on was always those same rocks, that same outcrop that they always seem to be filming at. All right.
Yeah, where they did the thing with the lizard man.
Oh yeah, with the Gorn and the rudimentary lathe but do you know why so much stuff is shot there?
Because it was free. It's a state park, isn't it?
No. The reason is because according to union rules, if you travel so far out, then you have to start paying people for, like per diems and stuff like that for being, further out and traveling. Those rocks in that area fall just within that border where they can say, okay, we're filming here, but it's still close enough. We don't have to pay you per diem and stuff like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, because they had a shitty ass budget, but that's shitty if you're the fucking one of the guys having it happen to him. I mean, fuck.
But I always thought that was funny. That's the reason those rocks are in so many westerns and so many sci-fi shows, and they're used in so many shows and movies for outdoor scenes, is because they don't have to pay an overnight per diem.
That's crazy.
Well,
it makes sense, though. It totally makes sense. Now we pulled way off of the Warner Brothers thing because we got into that to the Paramount to the.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Because and I was going to say on that, because another reason I thought it was finalized, Gabe came and showed me this picture, and I'm quite sure it's AI generated or whatever, but they had already painted over the Warner Brothers water tower with the Netflix inn, and I got so fucking pissed off.
Oh, that is completely. Yeah, that's completely false. Yeah. No, at this point where it's setting is right now, the managing board of Warner Brothers has come out and said that they have accepted the proposal from Netflix, but that's it. It hasn't, actually gone through. And also there's one other thing. Is because they've gone into contract on this now. They've actually gone into contract, and these big contracts, they have I forget what the clause, but it's a clause where if the deal doesn't go through, Netflix owes Warner Brother a couple $2 billion.
Couple billion.
Yeah, with a B. Yeah, so there are clauses in the deal that they have already that, it's basically what it is those clauses are in there in the deal to make it so people are serious. Okay, we're serious. This is not some, we're thinking about it, we're holding you up, because if you don't go through with it, you now owe us this shit ton of money. And that's on both sides. Right now, that's on both sides. And so, it's going to be interesting, because if either of those clauses, get activated, then that's going to screw them over. So both of those companies are now incentivized in order to complete this deal. But if even if a regulatory, comes through and says, no, you can't do it because it'll turn you into too big of a thing. No, you can't do it. No, you didn't, give Trump his millions of dollars of bribery, so you can't do it. Then that could very well, financially impact both of these companies hard.
Wow. Yeah, because a couple billion now, granted, they're paying $85 billion for the whole thing, I think.
Yeah, but still,
billion is a big fucking loss. That's not
just to listen to you,
Yeah, a couple $100 dollars budget movie that didn't make half its money back is a huge loss. So that's yeah.
No, but anyways,
I'm real.
The reason I had brought the whole Star Trek thing into it is because you worry about if that Warner Brothers Batman IP goes, to one of these other companies, how they're going to put their dirty fingers all over it and mess stuff up. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see, because depending on how they treat Star Trek, it may be in the next couple of years you go, oh hell, I wish that Warner Brothers goes to Paramount, because there they'll be treated right. Or it could
Well,
be,
I
thank
wonder
God
because-
they didn't go to Paramount.
I'm pretty sure Paramount, it was one of the things they were looking at doing was bringing Zack Snyder back in and rebooting the whole Snyder universe. Like, just keep going with that. And I was like, no, don't. Like, I love Henry Cavill and stuff, but that needs to be dead. It needs to be done. They need to move on. It just,
Yeah.
that would be a disaster for DC, I think.
Speaking
if
of
they
Henry
did that.
Cavill, though, look at what Netflix did to The Witcher.
Well,
They are fucking it off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's like now, how you feel about the Zack Snyder verse is the same way as I feel about Firefly. Don't even, if anybody goes, oh, they're going to try to reboot, try to bring it all back and, kick off Firefly again. Why? That should have been done 15 years ago. Don't do it now.
If they did anything, I would be up for a
different generation in the same universe.
another movie like Serenity with the actors, but 15 years later. Like, a whole bunch of shit has happened.
Yeah.
Don't try to like just pick it up and just where they're all fucking off doing their own things now, and something happens that's going to bring them back or something. I could go for another movie, but trying to
I heard
reboot the series at this point
about that, with Serenity, when they killed off, Preacher Book. All right.
Right.
The reason that they did that is I didn't realize, and it might be totally wrong, but apparently
We were talking about this last week.
Yeah, Ron Glass knew that something was wrong. They knew that he had. Yeah, and so they gave him a goodbye.
They filmed the movie. Come again?
And so they gave him a goodbye in it. Yeah.
He got to be part of the choice on whether they killed the character off or did.
But yeah, so that was news to me when you told me that. So yeah, and you froze again.
Stories and everything that they had decided to do, I guess, got released in the comic book that I haven't read that yet. But they did do all his prequel stuff. His ground and all that shit.
But he went out like a hero. I mean,
but hey, I just thought of something.
See it.
No,
it would have been nice to get.
But
now with AI, we could bring Book back.
With AI?
Oh my God! Could you imagine
What?
Firefly, the Muppet Babies?
oh Jesus Christ!
Would be one hell of a prequel.
I could. You're the one that's got a sword, man. Huh? Yeah, you use that sword you got. Make a baby version of Firefly. Only thing is the characters would have known each other when they were babies, but then technically neither did the Muppets. That's
In
not
my
canon.
point exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd watch it. Just do one, put it on YouTube, you'll get 1 million hits. So that's what AI is there for, is this exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Oh, it's
all right, that's out of the way. Now we need to figure out when, because Kristen is on here. We need to figure out
Kristen
when
said
we're all
that-
going to get together.
yeah, she said the
for-
comics, which I have a bunch of the comics, we just haven't got through them all yet. Huh?
We need to figure out when we're all going to get together to do My Little Adventure.
So I know you both are running campaigns.
Right, Daryl. It's
So-
Daryl's turn if he wants to do it.
Okay.
'Cause
Well,
I can still put some time into mine.
I'm good either way. So when you want to start, I know we got Christmas coming up. You want to wait till after Christmas or
No,
No,
I mean it's
no, because that's getting.
Bad.
If we wait till after Christmas, then that's butting up on when, soon within a couple months you're going to start going off, going back out to do shows again. So I know how that works.
Yeah.
So I maybe next Wednesday we can all, instead of this, we all meet at the Burrow and do character gen, and we can do that live, because now we've decided that Comcast can be whatever the hell we want it to be, so we can do character generation.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
All right.
We just
Kind
have
of a
to get
session zero thing.
We'll just check in.
we just have to get who's our fourth?
For your game?
Yeah, why am I forgetting his name? We played over at his house.
Who? Oh, Kalen. Kalen Kovac.
Kalen. I was going to say
Kalen.
Captain Kirk. Kalen.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I got you. Sorry, I wasn't. I was trying to think when you said we like that. I'm thinking like somebody that's not in our direct group. Hi.
Well, apparently here we got a problem. She works from 10:30 to 7 Monday through Friday, and the next 2 Saturdays are booked for her as well. Gosh darn it,
Well,
Kristen.
it's a good thing to talk about this stuff. We should do this in a group chat then. We'll start a group chat. Kalen Kovac, you've met him before. He was the original Captain Curry in the Scallywags, but he's been at the last probably 5 Tsunami-Cons.
He was the one that was playing that alien type game that Mitch played.
Yeah, that was his game.
Yeah, that was his game.
Well, and I just got notified our supper is done. So,
Okay.
we should probably go eat.
Yeah, and I got to go help Jessica. She is exploring her new laser engraver cutter that I got her for Christmas. She got the Creality Falcon A1 laser engraver, and so she's learning how to use that right now.
Oh,
And-
gosh, yeah.
Yep. So I got to go, help her do that and figure out what we're doing for dinner.
Oh, I hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Sundays
didn't
are
get a
open for
chance
her,
to talk
though.
about all the work I did on my 3D printers this week because I have been struggling with problems on them, but it's no biggie. So as far as events coming up, we have nothing going on, and we haven't been paying attention because we have a month or so off. I
Damn
would say the
straight.
next big thing for us would be early February would be St. Louis Gateway Pirate Festival.
See what I mean?
we'll post up
We
some
can't
stuff.
wait till after Christmas.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is we won't be going every weekend until about April, but we will have weekends we're doing. So but
Yes.
once April hits, it's is. So but yeah, other than that, we'll talk more about convention. We'll see you guys.
All
later.
right.
Hugs and kisses. Bye.
In that case, you go get dinner, and I am going to go get dinner as well.
All right. We'll
All
see you
right.
later.
Love you. See you. Bye.